Hi guys, 16JP here, and today I've got another VOD review versus Team Gamma, and I'm gonna again focus on my own gameplay and review what I did well, and look for what I can do better. I've also changed the editing style a bit, so please leave a comment below on anything I can improve on, and that'll be greatly appreciated. So let's jump right into it. First of all, let's look at the enemy team comp and check out their strengths and weaknesses. Their team comp consists of a Maokai, an Elise, a Xerath, a Tristana, and a Thresh. First of all, Maokai is tanky, lots of engage, good for peeling. His weaknesses are that he doesn't provide a lot of damage, and he will lose the split push game. Elise, early game jungler, can provide a lot of global gank pressure, early game damage, but she falls off late game. Xerath, high damage, long range poke. He's good at clearing waves, but he can't deal with long engaged team comps due to his low mobility. Tristana, lots of damage, scales into the late game. She's a hyper carry. She's very mobile with the use of a rocket jump, long range in the late game due to her passive, and she can also disengage fights by herself with the use of a properly aimed ultimate. Thresh, great pick potential, provides a lot of CC, good disengage, great for setting up kills, but he falls off if he can't land anything at all. Now, let's look at our team comp and its strengths and weaknesses. Our team comp consists of a Jace, a Warwick, an Orianna, a Vayne, and a Braum. For transparency's sake, we weren't looking to fill in a specific team comp, but rather we were testing out some new comfort champions and see how well we do on them. Jace, strong duelist, should win the split push game versus the Maokai, but falls off if he doesn't do enough damage, and Maokai will end up overpowering him. Warwick, global pressure with his W, hard engage with 2 forms of CC. He's also tanky. Weakness, without flash or result, he's very kiteable. Orianna, strong AP burst, game-deciding ultimates, provides shields and movement speed. Her weakness is that she's not very mobile, and she's relatively short range in comparison to Xerath. Vayne scales very well into late game, mobile, shreds tanks. Weakness, her early game isn't very strong, and she's also extremely squishy. Braum, tanky, various forms of hard engage, can provide great peel with the use of his passive, his ultimate, and his shield. His downside is that he doesn't provide any heals, and he's relatively low mobility. Alright guys, welcome back to the VOD review. So right now we're going in-game. I'll be focusing primarily on myself because I'm the jungler, and that's what we're trying to view is what I did well and what I can do to improve. So here, we wanted the walk-in lane as fast as possible because they do have a Thresh, and they also have Maokai and a Xerath. We don't know what spells they took, but we didn't want to risk a potential invade that was happening. And so what we did as a team was that we spread out throughout the map through both entry points to make sure that Thresh did not have an opportunity to go for an invade. Here I'm going for a standard clear of blue buff, wolves, and then red buff, and looking for opportunity to gank top lane. I want to be able to reach top lane at the same time as Elise does, because I'm worried about the early game ganks that she could pull off against her top laner. I also know that our top laner has a tendency to shove, and so I want to get ready for a counter gank just in case. Take the blast cone over, and here, what I wanted to do was was to set up vision in enemy jungle just to see where Elise was. And so here, I actually find Elise, first of all, 1, she's out of mana, so and 2, she's only level 2, meaning that she only has leveled up her Q and her W, and she has not leveled up her E, which is her only way of escaping. And so what I do is I immediately go and engage on her because I know these 2 things. Here she goes for an auto attack. I don't know why. Maybe it's to apply the red slow, but it got me within Q range. So here I activate my E immediately, and I Q her right away. And at this time, I time my E so that she's not able to auto attack the blast cone right away, because if she does that, the blast cone will send me flying away from her, and then she'll be able to escape. So I feed her to cancel that auto attack. Now that she realizes she can't auto-attack the blast cone, she tries to escape going into spider form, and so I ward the tri-bush so I can still get vision of her, the auto-attack, and the Q her. Here, Here I flashed right away because I didn't want her to escape, and I just Q and auto attack her. I then begin to take her blue buff just to deny her of the farm. So here, in hindsight, I should have gone to take her Gromp instead, to deny her more farm, because Gromp actually provides the most experience out of all the jungle camps. But instead, I tried to go for a cheesy kill, but I got cocooned because she hit level 3 off the wolves, and I just proceed to clear out my own farm, clear out my own jungle. I came back with Tiamat, boots, and a control board, so this is very good for me. Bot lane is low because my W passive increases movement speed. So Blood Hunt, Warwick gains 65% attack speed against enemies below 50% health, and he also senses low health champions globally, moving 40% faster toward them when out of combat. So here, because Tristana is low, I'm moving toward bot lane. And I'm ignoring Gromp completely, just because I want to get to bot lane as fast as possible. Here I activate W because I want to get the passive. I want to get my W passive on the Thresh, not the Tristana, because Thresh is above 40% health, so my W would not be activated against him. I proc my E, and then a technique with Warwick's Q is that if I hold the Q key down, he will attach the target and leap behind them, and so I will follow. If the enemy uses a dash of some sort or a flash, I will follow them if I press and hold down Q. So here I press hold down Q, Thresh flashes, and I go with him. I fear him, and then we get the kill on them. Now here I set a pink ward in the bush, and I'm looking for a gank toward the enemy mid laner because he's pushed up and he also has no mana. So what I do is I hug the furthest wall just to make sure that he won't run away from me. It's to zone him out of walk into his turret. So here he now notices that I am here. I activate my E. I get stunned, but then I get within Q range. I still get to fear him, and then I auto attack Q. And I auto attack, press my Tiamat animation, and then Orianna is able to get the Q damage, and Aerie will finish it off. So I just blew support flash and the mid laner's flash, and I'm just clearing out my jungle again. So here I noticed that my mid laner just got ganked, and I'm taking my wolf camp. Now, because of Xerath's position, I tell my mid laner to ult, and then I follow up with my own ult. I unfortunately was a bit short of hitting the ult, but I was able to get within range to fear, and then finish him off. So the enemy jungler just got a gank onto our bot lane, and so I'm going for a gank because Tristana is alone and I want to kill her. Now, their elite should have just disengaged after here, and Trish should have jumped earlier, but I decided to fight because we were pretty strong. So I activated my E, flash, and feared the Tristana right away. So notice how I auto-attacked Tiamat and then Q'd right away. It's a really fast combo, and then while Tristana jumped, Bane condemned her, and it condemned her to the wall, giving the condemned bonus damage. So we killed the Tristana. Here I'm just cleaning up my jungle camps and finishing off my raptors so that when they respawn they'll be of a higher level. Here I noticed that my mid laner is chasing their mid laner, and I could have given the solo goal, like a solo kill, but I smited it just to get an assist off him. Now I noticed that with the enemy jungler is rotating top because of the ward that we placed there, and so I'm heading top right away. So good flash by our top laner, but Elise is still able to get to him. I ult the Elise, trying to give our Jace a time to escape, but Maokai just finishes him with an auto attack. So I finish off Elise, and then I go straight toward the Maokai. I finish him off. Now here I got really greedy. I thought that I would be able to finish off the Xerath just because I was so fed, but he was able to kite me out, and also I didn't dodge that. A mistake I did here was that, you see, I just canceled my auto attack. If I kept on auto attacking the minions, I would be getting health back because that's Warwick's passive. If I hover over Warwick, you'll see that Eternal Hunger. If Warwick is below 25% health or 50% health, he will his base attacks will heal himself. So I should have kept on auto attacking, and in hopes that Braum would be there in time to shield me. So that was greed on my part, and also a miscalculation. Here, I'm looking toward my mid laner, who is getting low. Oh, well, my Xerath is low. And then we rotate toward the Orianna because she's in trouble. Thankfully, Braum is there and saves her for the time being. I try to zone off the Xerath, and I go immediately straight to the Elise into the Maokai. We finish off the Elise, I zone Xerath off him again, and we go straight for the Maokai. Unfortunately, our mid laner died because of Xerath ultimate. And we also noticed that our ADC died, and so we wanted to make sure that we got first tower gold before they did. Thankfully, the turret was low enough, and we were able to get tower. Now because everyone's missing off the map, we feel like it's a good time to take dragon because bot lane just took tower and they should have backed. And then that just secured the dragon for us because at least I was topside taking rift. They can't steal us, and so I wanted to make sure I timed my smite properly. So my smite would have only done 600 true damage, so we just waited for them to do damage to it first. So here I waited, and then smited it. We were looking for an engage here, or we got a good ult, but it wasn't worth it. Here we realize that Tristana is walking the opposite direction and not with them currently, and so I try to go for the Elise, but she grapples at the proper time. Is it grapple? Is it grapple? Rappel. Okay, she repels at the right time, and I end up ulting the Thresh. They got the Elise, and then here I activated my E, so I flash feared, and then Braum was able to also knock him up. Just shove it down mid, but we weren't able to take turret just because Xerath is full health and Tristana was also rotating in. So we just decided to invade their jungler, give our bot lane red buff, and shove bot lane. Here I was looking toward my mid laner just because Xerath was really low. But our Orianna was able to get the finish off him, and so I just rotated bot lane. What I could have done here is that I could have ulted the Tristana and then go for the Thresh. Actually, no, I didn't have ult up, so I couldn't ult anyway. So we go straight for the Thresh. Because I'm tanky, I'm able to tank up several turret shots without any problem. Here, I'm trying to block the Cocoon from hitting Braum, and I try to walk in front of her, but then Elise just Qs the Braum, kills him. And I didn't want the Elise to repel, and so I ulted her right away. And we're able to take tower. I just reset. Now, I looked at the team comp and I saw that Tristana was doing alright, and so I was building armor, but then I realized that 3 of the champions are AP with Maokai, Elise, and Xerath. And so I started building to Spirit Visage, buying Spectre's Cowl, and I was going to get Merc Treads. I also upgraded my Trinket to Sweeper, and I got another Control Word. Here our team is doing a 1-3-1 split push, and the enemy team actually takes advantage of that. Kakeen, Elise cocoons me, and they engage the fight. And right now it's a 4v, it's a 3v4, and now a 3v5. We try to disengage from this fight because our teammates aren't there, but they're able to finish us off. So this was a misplay and miscalculation from our team and our side, and it's my fault for being caught out. I unfortunately did not have flash or ult, so I wasn't able to escape them. Here, bot lane should have just disengaged completely, but they didn't. Our top laner rotates in late and isn't able to do anything. Our mid laner tries 1v1ing the enemy mid laner but gets caught out and dies. So here, that was bad on our part. We didn't notice that all 5 of them were mid lane, and we should have properly secured a 1-3-1 split push. So here, because of that mistake, they're catching up, but they're still 7,000 gold behind. But the ADC just got a triple kill, so we always have to take that into consideration. Oh, Thresh misses Flay. They would have killed Jace if he got the Flay in. Also, because they're low health, I'm able to run very fast toward them. Elise finishes off the turret, but then flashes away for some reason. But I get within ult range. Here, I'm just trying to apply pressure, stopping them from backing. And now we just farm up. We're looking toward the next dragon, and so we're trying to get vision to set up next drag. Because we want to get that double infernal. Here, I get caught out, so it's a good prediction by the Elise. But thankfully I'm tanky, so they're not able to burst me down. So I fear the Thresh away. I'm able to sidestep the hook, but then the enemy Tristana is able to immediately go onto our mid laner. Here, I just activate W so I can intimidate them. And I tried to give the red buff toward my ADC, but the Xerath stole it. Here, because we are at a number disadvantage and Tristan is fed, we decided to completely disengage from the fight. We're trying to look for a way to enter it, but we realized that let's just disengage, just play it safe. Vayne's low, Orianna's not here. Braum and I are able to dodge everything, and then Braum just disengages with his ultimate. So here, Orianna is now joining us with the fight. Jace is backing because he has TP up. Unfortunately, we have to concede the dragon. It's not worth trying to take this dragon, and all of us end up dying. So once Jace TP's in, we're looking for a way to engage. I press W to get that movement speed, and we start pressing our advantage. Orianna gets a good flash ult in. And so there, I immediately activate my E, so I can flash into them, and I end up fearing 3 people: the Maokai, the Thresh, and the Xerath. I go for the squishiest person, the Xerath, but then I also activated my Tiamat so I can get that cleave. Finish the Xerath, and then I notice Triss is by herself, and so I ult the Triss rather than the Elise, because she's a priority target. We finish off the enemy AD carry, and we don't, instead of spending time to chase the jungler, we decided to go straight for a Baron. We have Vayne, who's great at taking objectives with high health pools, and I'm also tanky, so I took no damage taking Baron. And then we just backed and reset everything, spending our gold. I finished my Spirit Visage, and then I'm building toward a Randuin's Omen, and I bought another control ward. Because we have Baron buff, we want to look toward forcing team fights, and also we want to remain in lane to buff up the minions. So here we know that I think we're doing a 1-3-1 split, allowing all the minions in all lanes to be buffed. Here we're just playing it safe, making sure that we know where everyone is and none of us are getting caught out. Now, because we noticed that the entire team was rotating toward a mid laner who was pushing, we started shoving mid hard. Here, our Braum goes to defend our Ori, and she survives because of that, so that's good. Great block, great block. Here, we dive the Xerath because he wants to defend the tower. I unfortunately missed my ult. That's something I really have to work on. But we get the kill on the Xerath, and Vayne gets the kill on the Elise with a good crit. So right now, we talked about win conditions earlier. Our win condition was that we needed to get our Jace ahead of the Maokai, or else Maokai will just out-tank the Jace, and Jace will be useless. But because Jace is so far ahead, he has 3 armor penetration items, with Youmuu's having lethality, Black Cleaver, and Last Whisper. So Jace does way too much. Jace does a lot of damage, and also is 2 levels above Maokai, and he cannot 1v1 the Maokai anymore. Maokai cannot 1v1 him anymore. And Jace is just applying split push pressure. And because 3 of them roam top, now we're just taking mid lane. I'm just trying to zone Tristana off the tower. Our Jace is able to pick up the Maokai, and so we just take in-head. Now we only have 1 tower left, and so we rotate bot just to make sure we get that tower. Here we just want to disengage because we don't want to. Right now the enemy team has item advantage, and even though we have a lot of gold, we have not spent the gold yet, and so we just decided to back and reset and then finish the game cleanly. So here we're just trying to clear vision in the jungle, and just go bot lane and finish it off and try to finish the game like that. Right now the game pace has slowed, and the enemy team is trying to look for picks because they have a good pick comp with Thresh and Xerath, and we're trying to deny them of any of that. Here we were looking for Dragon, but we decided against it. I activate W is because we have no vision, and W will give me a sense of where the nearest person is, and so I was just wondering if they were doing a death bush, and so with my W I was able to sense out the Thresh, and so I kept on picking it. We wanted to take the Dragon, but then we realized we don't really need it to win, and so we let Jace soloed it because he had TP. So we just shoved mid from now on. Here we're just looking for the proper time to engage. Alright, so because Thresh hooked the Vayne, we thought that they would initiate here. And so both Ori and I flash in toward the team. I go for a flash Fear, and Orion is going for a flash Ultimate. I go straight for the Tristana, she uses her QSS, and I immediately go back to the nearest person. So I go for Thresh, and then right now, we're just finishing off the game. So yeah, that's how we won the game, just through knowing our win conditions and being able to gank properly, applying a lot of global pressure. So that concludes my my VOD review against Team Gamma. If you like this video, please give this video a thumbs up. It would really help me out. If you want to see more content like this, please subscribe. If you have any comments about the VOD reviews, or you want to see a specific type of content, please comment it down below. And good luck with your next ranked season. I'm also planning on doing an Unranked Diamond stream at the same time doing Unranked Diamond series on this channel. So please give any input to what you would like to see, and take care and good luck.